so fucking I'm so sorry, man.
Oh, you called it? I think I called it. I should have killed this
He
motherfucker
looks
when we
over and
first
he
met him.
goes, well,
Yeah.
so be it then. You know what? Fuck the horn. I don't need it right now. I'll get it eventually. But, it appears that you have a city to save? Or, a friend to save. You see he whispers from under his breath, like, and kind of from his hand. And, like, his hand glows like a green color. And he shoots it out, and he casts Power Word Kill on Luna.
No, the fuck he... No!
Luna, you awaken in the Sunglaive Grove, your home village. It's a beautiful summer day. You look down as you're laying in a field of flowers. Gorgeous trees and flowers that are freshly blossomed. You can hear the close ocean rivers and the water flowing, and it sounds peaceful and graceful. As you look down at your hands and your feet, and you look all around, you feel at peace. But as you do more investigating, you see that you're almost just a child, a teenager right now. You are not your adult self. It may be confusing, but you do remember this moment pretty vividly. As you're looking around confused and relaxing in this peaceful, grove in your hometown, you hear the echo of your name. Luna! 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 It sounds like your mother calling from you from home.
Get up.
You get up?
Go to her voice. Get up and go to her voice.
Okay. You stand up and you look around, and while you're very confused, not exactly sure what's going on, what had recently happened, the last thing you remember was just a bright flash of light, and all of a sudden you close your eyes and you awoke in here. But you continue to follow the voice of your mother, following through the grove, going through the flowers, and running through the Sunglaive Grove, your home village. You see that there are plenty of people here in this lively town. It's very much a druidic-centered and focused village. You can tell that there are various different races here: humans, elves, halflings, gnomes, but most of which practice the druidic arts. You're running through, and you see much of the townsfolk are kind of waving at you as you walk by. They're so used to seeing you. You're one of the youngest, children, teenagers, practice, learners of magic and the druidic arts here. So you're very well known throughout this area. You continue to make your way through the grove, and eventually you find yourself at your parents' home. And you see that your mother, Frey, is standing at the door waiting for you, tapping her foot, and looks slightly disappointed. He goes, Luna, I told you, dinner was almost ready. Why are you out and about again?
See, I think I just fell asleep.
Oh, she takes her hand and kind of pats her head, and she goes, it's quite alright. I'm assuming you were in the Grove of Flowers again.
Was?
Of course you were. It's fine. Anyways, Father has made quite the meal for us. Come on inside and we can, relax, have something to eat. You have much studying to do tonight for your examination and your first trial of the circle tomorrow.
Very excited.
Yes. She welcomes you inside, and you have a wonderful oak home that has flowers and vines, not in a tacky manner, but also, more or less in a beautiful and organized manner throughout this home. Most of the druidic homes here are made out of, natural materials such as stone and wood and oak and vines, but also in a very, noble and just pretty-looking fashion. Your father, an elven man, is very, upbeat, kind of happy, whistling, cooking, flipping, stirring the pot over and over. And he looks over and he gives you and your mother a very big smile as he prepares a very wonderful dinner for the both of you. Or sorry, all three of you. He sits down, he looks at you and goes, so, Luna, tell me about your day.
Well, I went over to the big tree and I climbed on it for a bit. And then I went to the flower grove, and I guess I fell asleep.
He gives a chuckle out, and you see your mother is chuckling as well at the same time while they enjoy the meal together. And you sit in this chair looking at your home, and everything be kind of begins to kind of fade out for you. You don't remember why you're here, what's going on, what had happened. You just know that you're currently in this moment right now, and everything is fine.
Is Luna? Is she still there? Is her body there?
You see that oddly enough, as she lies there dead. It's almost as if, you know, when in Harry Potter when Sirius Black got avidicadiddied, and he's like wisped away.
Is there any part of her left?
Something about this spell, despite it being power word kill, normally leaves a physical presence behind, but with her, you see she is like wisping away into like dust. The only thing that really begins to see and remain on the ground is just like, you know, a few strands of hair.
Her staff is gone. Her
yeah.
all of her
Oddly
enough,
you see all of her equipment kind of goes with her. Everybody roll me an insight check real quick.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Net 20 plus 7.
Jesus.
That's 20.
Dang.
Holy shit.
Wow. I mean,
25.
25?
Yeah, 19 plus
2
6.
nat 20s and a 25.
Mm-hmm.
You know the power word kill was the Spectre's doing. But then you see, as her body is kind of wisping away, it's not like a necrotic magic. This is more of like a bright fey-like magic, as if something took her.
I am going to reach down to my cloak and tear off enough of it to make like a little cloth bed, and I'm gonna. You said there's hair left over?
Yeah, just like some strands of hair from when she hit the ground when she died, like kind of like hit the ground. That's really about it. Like, you know, it's like a piece of her that wasn't like attached to the body when it disappeared.
I'm gonna take that and put that in the cloth bed and tie it up.
Okay.
What was out of what was the fox's name? The spirit that Luna talked to way long.
Felu.
Felu.
What magical voice?
I'm just gonna start screaming that name.
You're getting no response. Zorthos, you raise your hand. Yes.
I'm gonna slap Aaron for screaming, and be like, "Look, dude, we need to go. We need to save Haxos right now. You need to get your shit together. Where do you think the closest fucking church is where you can bring somebody like her back? In 100 miles from here. It's Haxos. It's time to go. Put on your big boy pants, get all your shit, put it in a shit backpack, get it all organized, and let's roll."
Gentlemen, Zorthos is right.
You motherfucker.
Here's what we should do. I think the two of you should go back and save Haxos.
While you do what?
I will save Luna.
Did you not just hear what I was yelling? That we gotta bring her back there. That's the only. We're not strong enough to bring her back.
We can't. There is no one who can bring her back at Haxos.
In the entire megacity?
We don't have time to search out anybody in the megacity.
DM.
Yes.
Wait, can I finish?
Can I? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Finish
go
your thing. Finish your thing.
Yeah, we don't have time to look through the megacity and find a healer or somebody. We don't have that time. Time is of the essence.
You know,
She's dead. We have moments to spare. This is all we have left.
You're gonna walk her into the woods. What is your plan, dude? We gotta figure this out.
I'm going to take her to the one place where she can be restored. Her kind. Vitalis.
How? Oh my God! Can we do that together? Don't you think we should fucking handle?
No, we don't have
here?
time. We don't have time to handle it together. She won't make it in time. Her essence will be slipping away. But you have to save the lives of the people of Haxos.
Bro, you're holding hair. It's not going to get worse than it is right now. What do you think? If you run faster, the hair will last longer? Put it in a jar, man. We got shit we need to do.
I understand.
You can't just run. It's a suicide mission. Are you going to give Vitalis what she wants and you on a silver platter while we're fighting for Haxos?
it's worth it to try.
No, it's not. That's a horrible idea.
For me, it is. It's what I'm going to do because I was the one who tried to save her, and I'm the one that failed. This is on me. I was her guardian, and now she's dead. This is on me. I have to save her.
I don't think that's the right way to save her, Louston. I think the right way is the way that is right here.
After some time, you finish up your dinner with your parents and you prepare to go to bed. You know that you have this trial tomorrow of your druidic arts and your craft and your practice that you've been practicing for the past year or so now. You've taken your first steps as an official druid from the Circle of the Moon, just like your mother and your father. It's quite nerve-wracking because you know this is one of the biggest steps that you can take to become an official druid of the Grove, but you being Luna are very confident. Before you go to bed, your mother and father, they reassure you that everything will be okay, that everything will go in your favor because you are very noble, you're very committed, and you have been studying and working very hard to practice your craft. As they look at you and they tuck you into bed for the night because you're only about 12 at this moment right now. You're not very old. Still a child, barely even a teenager. They close the door and you begin to fall asleep as you close your eyes and begin to doze off. But a few mere moments later, after falling asleep for maybe a good hour or two, you hear what sounds like... You hear a thudding noise from downstairs, almost like something fell or broke or somebody tripped.
I'll go check it out.
Okay. You get out of bed and you make your way to the door. And you crack it open. And you look down the stairs. And you do see indeed that your father is kind of like on his knees, almost as he is like fallen, and with your mother over on his side, kind of like helping him up. And you see he's very tight for air, trying to... like gasping slightly and struggling to stand, a little wobbly as he's trying to make his way up, and goes, I'm fine, just lightheaded, been overthinking a lot going on, very stressful. It's a big day for our young one tomorrow. This could be the true test of her abilities and her future path. And your mother looks at him and goes, I know, but there's no reason to stress or be worried. You really need to get more rest rather than... well, you know, worrying about the past. And he goes, I know, it's been quite the challenging few years, but I know that there isn't much to really think about anymore. But, you know, sometimes memories do come back to me, and I do tend to worry about things that I know would never even happen. She goes, yes, it's fine. And she stands him up, and they begin to walk away, heading to their room for the night.
I'm gonna call out to them.
Oh, okay. At the top of the stairs, you call out to them. And they go, oh, your mother, hey, Luna, sweetie, what are you doing? You should be in bed. You should be in bed right now, sleeping. Your trial is tomorrow.
Well, I heard a loud noise. Thought I would come make sure everything was okay. Are you guys okay?
Oh, yes, you're fine. Your father, he just tripped. We're very tired, you know, been hard at work, cooking and hunting and taking care of the home and the house. And your father just like nods. He goes, yes, sweetie, you know, it's just, you know, I'm just worried about you, you know, overthinking a lot of things. I really just, you know, want to see you succeed tomorrow. And, you know, I lost some focus, tripped and fell. It's not a big deal. Everything's fine. But you can tell that your father is very, like, kind of shaken about something still. Your mother's kind of holding it together pretty well, but your dad is just kind of like got this weird tenacity to his voice. Your mother looks at you and says, oh, we don't have a worry in the world about your abilities, and we're very confident with you. We're just tired. And they try to kind of like direct you back up to your room for the evening.
Have a good night, and I love you.
Yep, love you too. They walk you back upstairs and they tuck you in again. And you begin to fall asleep again. However, something just isn't sitting right with you. You are very perceptive. You know your father, you know your mother, and you could tell that something was indeed bothering him or worrying him, but you couldn't really tell. But as you continue to think about these thoughts and these memories and these ideas and trying to figure out what's going on, you do indeed fall asleep. The party argues still with the Horn of the Dragon sitting in front of them.
Guys, this is people are dying down there. This is the best thing we can do. We can't we were given a choice to save one or everybody. We can save everybody, but we will have to split up to do it. This is on me. I have to save Luna.
Where's the horn?
It's right in front of you guys.
I've got it right here.
Yeah, it's like on Zorthos' hand. It's pretty big. It's about like 2.5, 3 feet like long. Pretty thick. It's heavy, but not like heavy enough where you couldn't like strap it on somebody's back. You know what I mean?
Look, boss, I'm gonna be real with you. It's your girl. That hair is your decision. What should be done with it? You pay the bills. I'll follow you, but this is your fucking decision. And I'm not gonna sit here while the city burns down and she's dying. So let's figure it out.
You're right.
It's time to fucking go.
Just allow me this one opportunity to try something. If it goes horribly wrong and I take off my money pouch, I hand it to Zorthos, I pull out the diamond, and I also hand it to Zorthos. If this doesn't work, or if something goes horribly fucking wrong, at least you're a richer man for it.
What are you doing?
I touch the horn, and if the demon will allow me to make a religion check, I would like to try to contact the Mother of the Echo.
Okay, whatever. So, oh yeah, definitely. What was that you gave me again? A diamond?
35 gold.
So you're going to touch the horn of Canargo, this dragon, and you're going to roll a religion check. Do me a favor. What do you like say to yourself or inside your head as you touch this dragon horn, this ancient dragon horn that has obviously got some sort of sense of magic to it?
There has been a great tragedy here today, and you are in need of a new champion to help defend the realm.
Aaron, what are you doing?
I need to do this. Just give me the chance to try. She had so much going for her, and there was nothing that I could do. Allow me to do something about it now. Mother of the Echo, would you please, in exchange for half of however many years I have left on the material plane, bring Luna back to us?
Roll me a religion check with advantage.
I don't think I'm good at religion.
Because I think my entire game plan is about to change.
I mean, ooh.
Okay, religion. Oh boy. You said advantage though?
Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna need it.
Don't you have friendship bond still?
No.
No.
I think that would have faded by now. 18?
You see that Aaron touches this horn of an ancient dragon that obviously had some sort of divine power or so, because of the power of the horn still even existing within it after being dead for almost centuries. As you do it, you call to the echo. However, this dragon has no sense of the echo. Has no
What? I was gonna
relation,
offer up the dragon
connection
horn.
to the echo. But you see on top of this mountain, as the battle takes place below the city, Zorthos, you kind of like eyeball the city. You feel a shaking on the mountain as you look down, and out of the side, like 3 of these mech suits get bursted out of below and begin rushing into the city. Something is going on that is drastic. However, the clouds once again form above this mountain as Aaron touches this dragon horn. Lightning strikes again down in the center, but not in a violent manner. that's causing like an explosion, like a subtle blast. You know, you can feel the shaking from it, but it's not like a massive radius like it was when you were trying to rip it off of the dragon initially. And you see that the dirt that is kind of covering this, you know, skeleton dragon begins to kind of like brush out of the way. And you see the bones of the dragon begin to slightly kind of shudder back and forth, almost as if it is like slightly moving. But then it kind of comes to a halt. And you see that it begins to glow this blue color from the lightning that struck it. And a humanoid forms in a like electrical fashion. Imagine like Electro, you know, in a straight electricity form. Just kind of stand there,
fuck.
a humanoid made out of electricity. Yes, Zorthos.
Yeah, I'm hiding.
Before
Before you did the description, as soon as anything started happening, I hid.
This lightning strikes, and this humanoid made out of lightning kind of stops, stands. You can't really make any like physical facial features out. You can tell it's just like the shape of a human holding, like looking at his hands back and forth, just static, zapping out. And you see the more the lightning settles, he does take more of like a humanoid, kind of like elegant looking human like shape, but it's still kind of like static and wild. And he looks up at all of you, specifically Louston and Aaron, as you stand atop of this mountain. And you see he shoots away in lightning, but then like almost like Misty steps in front of you with lightning once again. He stands about 10 feet tall, though. He is big.
Oh, shit.
He looks down and he goes, "You've called upon my spirit, my essence, and this has not been channeled in hundreds of years. Since the day of my death on top of this mountain, who are you, and how have you brought me here in this form?" His
My name is
voice
Aal'Teron.
echoes. Yes.
To be fair, I actually was not trying to talk to you, but since you're here,
Divine power used with my horn on top of my burial place. What did you expect?
to make a deal.
I'm listening.
Do you need you need something. Everybody needs something.
Well, I've been dead for centuries, floating in the astral skies, just aimlessly, what appears to be, it feels like an eternity, ever since my death and my almost rule of this world. Of course I need something. You think I want to be floating in nothing forever? I do need something.
What is it? Name it.
I want to come back.
Well, last I heard, when you were alive, you were causing a lot of pain and suffering for a lot of people.
Well, I was. This was my mountain.
Yeah.
And it was invaded and taken over by dwarves and gnomes.
Okay, let's cut to the chase. I'm pressed for time.
He looks down at Louston. He sees like the little satchel, like hair and everything else, and goes, "You've lost somebody recently, haven't you?"
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing about being a divine old dragon, having the power that I do, and even floating in the sky as a spectral being, never to have a corporeal form, I still have some weird abilities. For example, I'm here right now. But for me to be brought back, like I want to be brought back with my physical form once again, I need believers. I need followers. I need people to want me back. Not just one person. I need people.
You want me to amass followers for a dragon that snuffed out thousands of innocent lives?
Not too many. A couple perform ritual. Swear an oath to me, maybe. With enough believers and followers and power, maybe I can be brought back. Yes, Louston.
What's the horn made out of?
It's just like a skull, like, you know, or like
Is his
bone.
hand still on it?
Whose?
Yeah.
Aaron's hand is still on it.
Is it still on it? Yeah, I'm assuming it is. It's up to you if it isn't or is. Yeah.
What if his hand was to be released from the horn? Would that break this conversation?
We're getting there.
You don't know. Can't really tell you.
Then I do nothing.
Yeah, I can't really tell you.
Okay.
Make a little
Again,
deal.
I'm again pressed for time. You're pressed for time. But as far as I can see it right now, as it stands, you're on my time. I'm not bringing you back so you can go continue slaughtering amongst the countryside.
That is fair, I suppose. But perhaps I can still strike some sort of deal with you. You see, even just the tiny bit of faith in me, the smallest deal, you could say, even, might give me enough strength and ability to have some influence over those in the realm. I wouldn't say necessarily you be the one responsible for me back, but I wouldn't be opposed to maybe having my own personal warlock to start the spark of what the fire could be to bring me back eventually.
You have one opportunity. Make sure it's worded very carefully.
You become a warlock under my power and make a deal with me. And that's all I really need. Because you'll be granted my powers, my abilities, some sense from me. That alone should be enough of a spark for me to have a little bit of influence amongst this realm again. People see you using the power of me. Could be enough to have them reach out themselves. You wouldn't be responsible for it, just by proxy. You wouldn't be the one that's directly caused me to come back. It'd be the others that happen to see you using.
And when you come
ability.
back, then what? What are you gonna do?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? How bad do you want your friend
Yes.
back?
She wouldn't want it to be like this, if that's what I'm thinking.
I've waited an eternity. I can wait another eternity if this is not what you want to do. But if you're taking that with you, he looks at the horn. Be careful who you take it around. Because if it falls in the wrong hands, somebody could probably strike an easier deal than the one I'm offering you right now.
Not like this. Your time's up. Now let go of the horn.
He shoots back into the air.
I cast Cure Wounds on myself at second level twice. I look over at Zorthos. I look at Louston. Alright, Zorthos. Let's get out of here.
I almost made Aaron a fucking warlock, damn it!
You almost did. You almost did. You had to sweeten the deal just a little bit more. Oh! Oh! I'm not happy with
Louston,
myself.
we
I
have
was
to
really
go.
considering it.
We have to go to Haxos, man.
You guys go. I've already gone. I've already
Let
left.
Louston let Louston do what he feels like he needs to do. Zorthos, I owe you. And Louston, I owe you infinitely more.
I'm already gone.
Yeah, Lauson's like making his way down the hill. Zortho's already hid. Like, so imagine like you were so distracted by this dragon that like Zortho, Lauson's like, I'm not fucking
Talk
around.
about time,
Yeah.
and then we spend 20 minutes talking to the fucking dragon. I'm
I
already.
know.
Yeah.
I had to
Lauson
try.
is like skidding down the mountain, and Zorthos is like finally. You see the lightning disperses, and Aaron's finally like back with it. I imagine you probably just let kind of Lauson go. I'm assuming like, you kind of saw from the distance. Yeah.
I would have just walked. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna fight it.
Aaron, if you don't have any of her hair, that was the only point we were gonna try to save. Access. I'm homeless, man. Like that's my home, but
I know.
I don't know where I'm gonna end up. We need to get Luna back. We have to follow the hair. Laust is making this decision for us. We have to go with him.
I know.
We can't split. We can't split up. It's too late right now. We've already lost one person. I'm never gonna get paid at this rate if you guys all die. We have to stick together. Come on, let's go.
Don't
All
do
right.
that.
And I'm gonna start
We gotta-
following
we gotta-
Lauston.
We gotta.
I'm gone. I would have
gonna start-
walked during that
yeah.
whole monologue. I'm gone. Or
gonna start
that dialogue.
Yeah.
I mean, can I get far enough away from them
I
where
would
they can't
s-
find me?
I would
or-
say that this is going to be not opposed. That was a pretty long dialogue.
That was
would
a
probably start
long-ass
going-
dialogue.
Yeah. Zorthos and Aaron, do me a favor. You guys could roll me like investigation check to see if you could somehow track down where Lauson went.
I pull out one of my beetles and I try to find some Louston. Just like Louston. Send one of the beetles.
Can I roll with advantage if I have Xena help me by tracking from the ground footprints and stuff?
I was about to say I should have advantage because of the beetles and the way
She's
they
a
work.
mouse, not necessarily. The beetles are gonna help, but Xena's just like three.
Okay.
Did
Natural
Aaron roll a
10.
nat 20 again? Jesus.
You want a
Christ.
camera on it?
No, Jesus Christ. Aaron, yeah, you with your your natural like ranger abilities and your tracking abilities, and the help of your beetle, you are pretty easily able to catch up and or find where Lauson's kind of heading to. You make your way down the mountain and eventually catch up to wherever he was going. Did anybody take the dragon horn with them?
I'm not. I wasn't going to.
Staying at
no.
the top of the mountain. Okay. All right. Lauson, you see rushing down, chasing down after you, after tracking you with Aaron's tracking skills. They have caught up to you and decided to go with you to try to find where you're a way to bring back Luna.
I don't even look at him. I just keep walking.
Yeah, I just start walking too. We
Okay.
got nothing better to do.
You awaken the next day, Luna. It is time. Your very first trial as a druid of the Circle of the Moon. Your parents wake you up and they give you a very staple, like attire for like something like a druid would wear, something that you have picked out yourself for your first like druidic like armor set or adventuring gear. You were very young, however, the druids of your tribe, often, they practice their arts at a young age to continue to perfect their craft as they get older and older, as you're often, seen as healers, protectors of the land and the wild. They walk you to the very same grove where you fell asleep in the previous day. And you see that there are a few of the elders here that are part of this druid that are actually in charge of these trials. And you see in front of you that the field that you were in the day before, while it was full of flowers, it looked like they had freshly bloomed. It looks like it is now just grass. Most of the flowers are gone. It is really just an empty field, not dead, just looks like they have like unbloomed, just like fresh buds and fresh grass. And you see that an older gentleman approaches forward. He's an elven man. He's got a cane, very old. However, you would know that this is Timik, Timik. You would know him very frequently and very well throughout the village as one of the elder druids that are here that often helps, younger ones learn their ways and their passage. And he looks at you and he goes, Luna, I'm very proud to see you on this day to finally take your steps towards the circle. As you can tell, this is one of your favorite fields, which is why we picked it for your first trial. This place does mean a lot to you, very much, we've caught you here, sleeping, passing out. What better place and more fitting than to have you have your first trial here in this field? But as you can tell, oh no, the flowers, they are not bloomed anymore. What could have happened? They are not dead. But do you think you could bring them back? Your first trial, dear Luna, is to enhance the speed of the fresh flowers that are to bloom. We used our magic to reverse their process to bring them back to their budded state, but you, with the right focus and the right belief, should be able to cause them to bloom again into the beautiful field that you love so much.
I will certainly try, Timothy.
Okay. You see, he kind of steps to the side. Your father and mother, they give you like this little pep talk ahead of time. They give you a hug. They give you a kiss on the cheek and say, "Now just remember, this is very simple. We have talked about this before. You were able to do it with a couple flowers. This is the same thing. Close your eyes, breathe, focus, and work your magic, quite literally. You got this." As
I
they
got this.
turn you towards the field, how would you like to, for flavor, as one of the very first spells that you cast as a druid at a young age, what would young Luna have done to try to get this field of flowers to bloom for your first step towards the circle of the moon?
I think that she would have just tried to kind of be encouraging, like, you can do it. You can. I believe in your flowery bloom, and it's so beautiful, and I love hanging out with you guys and being here with you. And just kind of like projecting those thoughts at the area around me and just kind of concentrating on sharing, like making my thoughts come to reality.
Okay. You begin to make these thoughts come to reality. You stick your hands out, you close your eyes, you take a deep breath in and breathe out, and you feel the arcana come from your hands as you touch the ground beneath you, and you open your eyes and you see at your hands, the flowers do begin to slowly spread out from your hands, begin to bloom and bloom, begin to light up in colors. Everything is looking gorgeous and beautiful. Everybody's clapping around, your parents are giving each other a hug, and they are excited. As you turn, you see everybody that is ecstatic over your success in your very first task in your first trial as a moon druid. But then you look back to the field, and you see, as the flowers begin to bloom with color and color, you notice that the color of the flowers, as they bloom more and more, they bloom up, but they start losing their color. As the field continues to sprout more and more, you notice that some of the flowers rise up, but then instantly shrivel and die. And this continues for just a couple feet until suddenly Timok steps in. He lifts your hands up. He goes, "Okay, hey, look at me, look at me.
Okay.
You lost a little bit of focus just now, but it's fine. You did very, very good for your first attempt." As he looks over his shoulder and sees that there are, a good amount of dead flowers kind of behind him where the spread continued. He goes, "But remember, always keep your focus. Even when distracted, if you are focusing on a spell, you cannot lose your concentration, because when you lose your concentration or think about other things, then sometimes your spells and your magic can backfire in unfortunate ways, okay?
Okay.
This was very good. Why don't we come back tomorrow and we can try this again? Go home, practice on a few individual flowers once more, and we'll try again tomorrow, okay?"
Okay. I'll try harder.
And you see that he stands, but as he stands, you see he looks at your parents, and he gives this very, side-eyed, awkward look. And as you look at your parents, you see your father and mother just kind of look at each other. And they notice you looking up, and they look down at you, and they just kind of real quick crack a smile. They go, "It's okay, come on."
Okay.
And they walk you back to their home. Laustin, Aaron, and Zorthos, what is the game plan?
What do I see? What do we see?
So you're approaching down the mountain. I imagine you're going down the backside almost the way that you came, which is on the opposite side of Haxos. Haxos is currently under some sort of attack. You don't know by who. You just know that there's some sort of attack happening. Could be the elves, could be the specter, could be God knows what. Could be Vitalis for all you even know. You don't know what it is. There's currently kind of chaos. You hear the chaosy explosions, but you are on the backside of the mountain kind of heading down through this area, there is a wooded pathway. The way that the Haxos area works is pretty much, you're on the northern end of the continent, and it kind of goes down. Haxos is at the very top of the north. As you stand on top of this mountain going down, you pretty much oversee the rest of the continent going, hundreds and hundreds of miles south until it reaches the ocean on the opposite end. You do know that there is the Duragar encampment that is pretty much in the middle of the continent where you once were. However, it's very thicketed in forests on the eastern side with numerous caves and such that kind of sprawl throughout the continent heading out. Zorthos is pretty well familiar with this land. However, as for what you guys want to do, it's really up to you, like what you're looking for specifically, if there's anything in mind.
You guys should be going to defend Haxos.
And how are we supposed to bring Luna back by doing that? You've got the hair.
I will bring Luna back.
Yeah, we're with you for that. Where's your magic portal? We're in like dire time, right? We should get moving, or you could spend time arguing with us. We're already here.
I'm keep moving. I'm
Yeah.
arguing with you as we're moving that you can go and save Haxos, and by doing this, by splitting the party, there'll be more casualties.
Yeah, alone, us two. Save the whole
By
city.
not splitting up, be a better chance than none of you.
Yeah, that's what I said. We should stick together. All you had to do is work with us. But you've got Luna. You made our decision. Well, you made my decision for me. I'm coming with you. You can argue until your face turns. Well, you don't. Your face is gonna stay the same color.
Is there a
but You're not
clearing
gonna change my mind.
near us at all?
Yeah, pretty well. Yeah, there's definitely pathways and like clearings and stuff. You're in pretty much like a spontaneous forest that kind of leads off at the side of the mountain. There's not a lot of villages or settlements or cities here in Haxos besides, the main city of Haxos with a few smaller settlements that lead south, such as the Duragar encampment. But there are like clearings and different kind of like open fields. It's pretty late. It's about midnight right now. Moon shining high.
Okay. As soon as we get to that clearing, I'm going to stop and I'm going to look at the both of them and be like, well, I guess I am making a decision for you, and I'm going to use my harness divinity to...
You mean channel divinity?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or the harness divinity is the thing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use to call out to... And I'm not even going to call out. Just going to be like, hey, let's talk.
Oh, fuck. And how does your channel divinity work then?
I just call out that you can do a religion check, I believe.
Divine intervention.
Yeah, if you're using divine intervention, you've got a percentage.
I don't have
chance.
the divine intervention is well, regardless, I'm doing a religion check. I don't give a shit if
Yes.
it with or without the harness divinity. That would just be an addition, like an advantage.
Divine energy
something like
for the magical effects start with two such turn. Blah 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 blah. Okay, so you want to essentially use your channel divinity to try to reach out to Pate himself?
Yes.
Do me a favor, roll me a religion check. Aaron did the same thing essentially with the dragon horn and turned down the offer. However, you recently having the knowledge of this demon hell lord Pate, roll me a religion check.
So that's with plus 0.
16.
16 plus 0. So
I will say with a 16, you see that one of the trees kind of off to the side of this clearing, you see it kind of lights up and flame a little bit.
oh, he doesn't teleport me out of there.
No, not necessarily, but you see like one of the trees begins to kind of light up and flame slightly, and what looks like a hole kind of starts to kind of burn into this tree like an archway.
Yeah, I'll go through it.
You guys see that Lausen is heading towards this tree that now has some sort of hole in it. It looks like it was put there by fire.
It's not open where they can get through it, is it?
I mean, it's like an archway.
Aaron, are we going through there or no?
I want to go with him.
I have a feeling he's going to just do suicidal stuff to prove a point. I think we just need to go to Haxos. Maybe we can save Luna another way later. Like, he obviously wants to be alone. I don't think that's going to help save Luna, but we can't just let everybody die.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Long stride to Haxos.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's nothing else we can do. That is a lost cause. We gotta go.
All right.
Aaron and Zorthos begin bolting to Haxos. Luna, you travel back to your home with your parents, and you don't, at a young age, you quite didn't think much of the dead flowers, of anything happening, anything odd. But you and your parents assured you everything was fine. This is normal. You know, you lost a little bit of focus and your magic went a little haywire. It's fine. This is normal. It happens to everybody. Young you, very, naive, believe this is fine. This is your first time practicing magic at a larger scale rather than just a flower or two. The same typical routine that you usually go through the night occurs with you and your parents. They take you in, you practice on a few more fresh seeds to get them to sprout. You're very successful with it. They pop up and everything is great, and there is, some hugs around, and they encourage you that you've got this tomorrow. They put you in a bed for the night, and you again try to fall asleep, but you are awoken by the speaking of your parents downstairs, sitting at a table.
Okay. I'm going to try to sneak to the top of the stairs or somewhere where I know I could get a better...
Like a balcony and kind of look over. Yes.
Yep.
So, you easily do that. You crack open the door again. This is the second night in a row where you know that something's kind of up. And you approach, peering over this balcony, and you overhear your dad and your mother speaking. And he says to his mother, or to your mother, he goes, I'm afraid that something's not right. And your mother looks at him and says, listen, I know what you're thinking right now, but this is not what this is. It is just a fluke. It is not real. It's not what we think it is. Just because we have these thoughts about the scenario doesn't mean that it's actually going to happen. The chances of that ever being a thing or coming to reality are far beyond this world. And he goes, I know, but Frey, you know as well as I do that when we lose concentration on our spells, it doesn't cause death, it just stops happening. Luna didn't lose concentration on the spell, she continued forth, and the flowers died rather than just stop the blooming process. And she looks around and goes, I know. We'll talk to Timmick tomorrow. I know he has the same fears that we do and the same concerns that we do, but I highly doubt this to be true. There has to be some sort of explanation for this. And you see your parents turn around and they see you overlooking them on the balcony, and they real quick kind of scoot their chairs in, and they go to put you back into bed for the night. As you see them walking up the stairs, everything goes black as if you passed out. And you awaken in your full adult self form now, in just empty space. It's almost just nothing but pitch black. As you continue to blink your eyes, you look around, you see this place does kind of begin to exhibit more color, almost as if it is just some sort of grayscale field of sorts. Very similar to the grove that you grew up in. However, there's no villages, no towns, no buildings, just very grayscale field and forest that has no selective path to go to start to end at, to walk to, or anything. But then you look to your right, and you hear a voice that says, I think it's about time you learn the truth of why we are so connected. As you turn around and you see, despite in this grayscale forest, that there is an astral projected version of Vitalis that stands next to you. As she eyeballs you up and down, says, when I sensed your death, I knew that something went wrong along the way. And I fear that despite our differences, if we don't work together in the situation that has caused your untimely death, then neither of us will be victorious in this matter.
Oh, wait, hold on. Are you saying you're not working with the Spectre?
No, I never was.
Oh,
Until I finally put some pieces together and realized I didn't know how I came back. Until now. I'm not working with him. He just brought me back, and I never knew it. And it's starting to click with me that I may just be a pawn in his fucking game. And nobody makes Vitalis Goldwillow a pawn in their game. He looks down at you and he goes, and it appears that he is dangerous, ruthless, and for some reason had targeted you because you are very much dead. As you see, she points to the sky, and you see that there is indeed a sun that is with a yellow/orangish glow that is kind of over the horizon of the trees, and you see it's very, very, very slowly moving. And she looks at the sun and goes, that is a symbolization of the echo. You are currently in an in-between right now. As a druid of the moon and in various circles, when a druid dies that is as powerful in your craft that you are, their spirit in their afterlife, they go to the echo. That is the heavens of the druids. However, there is a window of space and opportunity where much creatures during this time frame can be brought back. But the time frame is 7 days. As you look up and you see the sun, she's like, when that sun sets on the opposite side of this forest line, the time for you to come back and the opportunity is then gone forever. Your spirit, yourself, will then float to the echo permanently.
Oh, well, that's a problem.
It very much is. Luna, listen to me. We have our differences, we have our different goals, but has it ever clicked with you or made you wonder why it is we're so connected?
Well, of course, but I thought it might have to do with interaction we had with the otter folk. I thought that was the reason.
No. Not even close.
Oh.
She sticks her hand out. And she says, I think it's time for you to learn the truth of why we're connected.
Oh, okay.
Do you take
She'll
her
take
hand? Okay.
Yes.
You take her hand. You close your eyes. Lawson, you walk into this hellgate that emerged amongst this tree. You reached out to Pates for the first time since learning of his existence. You find yourself in the 9th layer of hell, sitting in front of some sort of obsidian throne, as you see a devilish man in plate armor with horns and a katana at his side, sits as you almost appear out of nowhere. And he looks and he goes, well, it appears that me sending you back wasn't exactly a poor decision, because you have
done?
crafted your own path and chose
Are you done?
good. Are you going to
Are you done?
Or excuse you? I gave you a
I was an
second
experiment
opportunity.
to you.
No, I gave you a second opportunity because I saw the true good that was in you, and I'm very forgiving, and I want to give those an opportunity who I think deserve a second chance. Ever since I took over the Hells, I have been fair and just to those who have been wronged, and I believe that they deserve redemption, and that's what I gave you. And you proved me right by having a path of redemption and doing the right thing. This was not an experiment, this was me doing my job.
You wiped the memories of that past person. You dropped me in front of a friend. And then you took that friend away from me. Is the experiment done? Because I don't want to do this anymore. I am not that Relcor person. I am not even this Louston person. I am no one without my friend, and you took my friend away from me. So what do you want? What else until it's done? What else until I'm free from this?
You see,
What's
he
left?
stands from his throne and he approaches forward slowly. And he's about the same height as you, because he was once just a human too. And he calmly puts his hand on your shoulder. And he takes, like, the little satchel that's in your hand. He says, "Your friend. Who was she?"
Her name was Luna.
And did she have the same beliefs as you? Was she fighting for the same cause as you? And did she deserve this?
She's trying to save people. She's the kindest person on that world.
You see that Pei kind of looks around, almost puzzled for a bit. Says, "I do have, obviously, the ability to send people back. Bring people back.
She's not here, is she?
She's a kind-hearted person. Someone like her wouldn't be sent here. If she was, she would have answering to do for why she even arrived here in the first place. Aal'Teron, she was a good person. I cannot bring her back directly myself because she is not here.
So what do we do?
From the looks of it right now, it appears that Haxos is in some danger right now. Now, I can send, in a way, you to the Echo. However, this is not a journey that you want to go through alone.
Why?
I'd be using hell magic to send you to the Echo. That is a place of good-hearted souls and spirits. You will not be looked upon there as friend or ally. You will be attacked and in danger. Because the forces and the power of the Echo are going to try to force the magic from hell out, because it's not welcome there. That being said, there are ways to get around certain things. This would have to be a very stealthy, low-down mission, I could say. You are going to need
You're
help
talking
with
about
this.
sneaking in and being quiet about this. I just want to talk to them.
You do. I understand that. But I'm telling you, if you want to bring her back, the mother, the Echo, she is not just going to listen to the word of one person. She's going to want to hear out to more than just one person. From my understanding, you have all had your differences, your arguments, your fights, different sorts of behaviors back and forth. I can keep tabs on you, as shitty as it sounds. I sent you back so I know what's going on. You have a cocky tiefling who says that he just wants money, but I heard him up there. He said that you're all friends. You have a human that has been caught up in this entire mess since the start because of his godforsaken father. You have you that I sent back to see what path you would take, which is a righteous one. The mother of the Echo can help her, but only if the cause is just. And the best way to see if the cause is just is not just by you going back, but everybody. And proving to her that she deserves to come back.
Okay. So
He-
send me and the other two Haxos.
He reaches his hand out for the satchel with the hair.
I hesitate.
Just trust me.
Why? This is the only thing left of her.
Aal'Teron, I sent you back to give you a second chance. I'm not a bad person. I'm not evil. Just trust me.
You are a torturer. Whether you'd like to believe it or not, let's be clear. And that is how I will always see you, as a torturer.
Well, hopefully one day that will change. But please,
I
you're
hand it
wasting
over to
time.
him.
You see he grabs it in his hand, kind of like ignites in a little bit of a flame, but it doesn't like burn it away. Instead, it turns it into like a pendant. Kind of like squeezes it, melts it down, reveals his hand, and you see it's like some sort of like pendant. And he puts it around your neck. It's a little more safe than just carrying around a satchel of hair. Get to your friends. Figure out what's going on in Haxos. I'll prepare a gateway, a connection of sorts.
Send us there. Send us to Haxos.
Well, it appears your friends are already on their way there.
You could get us there. Aren't you strong enough? Come on, one of the lords of hell, the Lord of Hell.
All right, I haven't done this in quite
Can't
some
send
time.
us there.
You see, he takes his katana, flourishes it, stabs it into the ground. He goes, "I'll see you soon, Lauston." As you ignite in flame, Aaron and Zorthos, you are rushing forward, heading to Haxos, Zephyr striking, and all of a sudden, everything around you begins to ignite in flame, and it is burning, almost as if there's a mass forest fire happening. Then all of a sudden, as you are surrounded in fire, you find yourselves kind of like at the front gates of Haxos with Lauston standing at your side, almost as if some sort of teleportation magic has just happened, with Lauston also standing there. You look in front of the gates of Haxos, and you see that there is indeed some sort of battle taking place. You see that there are the dwarven airships that are kind of flying, shooting down cannons. You see that there are the mechanical structures that are also kind of like marching through the city. But then you hear the of what sounds like bows being shot in the distance. As you look upon one of the archways of the gates of Haxos, you see that an armada of elves is now on kind of like one of the archways shooting arrows down, as the elves of Elvenglade are now retaliating against the Haxos forces. You stand in front of the gates of Haxos. What would everybody like to do?
Well, first, just real quick, I'm just going to look at Zorthos and be like, yeah, you're right. We got to stick together.
I'm glad that that was made convenient for you. Now let's get to work. And I'm gonna run into the city.
I'm following.
Okay. You all run into the city. Chaos ensuing. Mechanical structures pounding down on the ground. Elves shooting back and forth at dwarves. It is absolute chaos in the city right now. Zorthos, you're home for the first time in almost history under assault and under attack. It is a full-out war zone here. It's almost as if you have no idea what to do, where to go, or how to even stop this. Zorthos, do me a favor and roll me like a history check.
All right. If I don't roll good, I have a plan.
Okay?
I have a plan. I just need money.
I got a 9.
9. It's not necessarily clicking with you with where to go from here.
Are there like civilians running around and shit?
Oh, they're like taking cover. It's like chaos right now.
Okay. Aaron, Lauston, start helping me guide people to the sewers. We need to get people out of the city. We need to evacuate. We can't fight these people off. And I'm going to start trying to direct people towards the sewer with all the speed I can. I'll even throw out like cantrips, thaumaturgy to go ahead and make my voice, louder and make like sparks and loud noises to try to get their attention. And just try to get as many civilians out of there as possible.
Okay. You
I'm
begin.
gonna cast. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I'm gonna cast long stride on myself, pull up my crowbar, and start popping manhole covers.
Oh.
Like anywhere I see them, I'm just popping open manhole covers.
Yes. So
Yes.
all this is happening. You're directing people. Lawson, what are you doing? Are you kind of like helping, assisting, like with pulling people like into the sewers or like getting them out of the city?
Do I see any like groups of elves, bad guys at all teamed up anywhere? Any like groups of them, or are they all off in the
They're not.
distance shooting from it? From
So-
like,
They're not bad guys.
It is essentially like
just
a war zone.
villains
Yeah, I know,
of the
I know what you're
situation.
saying. You like, just like battles taking place. Essentially, yeah. So imagine like you've just walked into what is almost like kind of like a war zone, but you're kind of like on the outskirts, kind of walking in. There are different different squads.
yeah, is there any
or models.
battalions grouped up? I mean,
You would see
I
that
think
most of the
definitely
dwarves in the city are definitely like on the ground, on the forces, like kind of like with like guns and shit shooting up in the air. While most of the elves are like have somehow made their way on top of like buildings, shooting down arrows. However, you see that dwarven mech structures are walking over and like taking their fists, and they're pretty much as tall as buildings and like swinging at the elves, almost as if they are building these mechanical vertical structures on purpose because they know the elves' tactics. They know that the elves like to take the high ground. They like to be, sneaky and, intelligent with their combat, whereas the dwarves, small and at a disadvantage, have now built, things to compensate for what is happening. It's all over the place. This is not just a little skirmish. This is an invasion.
Is there anybody around us that has gone down?
I would say that there are probably
Any civilians?
Civilians, yes, there are some civilians that not necessarily have been like a casualty of like war, but they have been like caught in the crossfires of like the battle, like explosions hit the ground. There's people definitely down.
I'm just going to, whoever I see that I think is dying civilians, I'm going to just run over and cast Spare the Dying.
Yeah, and that's a cantrip, right?
It's a cantrip, so I would just use it over and over and over. But you don't see, it's no longer, there's no longer red flames coming off of Louston.
Oh,
it's all black flames.
Oh, shit. Louston is rocking out to My Chemical Romance now as he is casting Spare the Dying on the civilians, getting them kind of, at least stabilized at least. Zorthos, you are making your way through this. You guys aren't really being targeted. You're not dwarves. You can tell that the elves are mainly targeting the dwarves of the city because this is a retaliation of what happened in Haxos. It does, Aaron, you look around and you do see that the elves, while retaliating against this attack that did happen initially, they are not attacking civilians. They are only fighting back against those who are fighting them. You do look around and you see that even some of the elves, they kind of like eyeball as you are helping refugees get out. They are not bad people. They do not want anybody to die. They are simply trying to retaliate.
Yeah, I don't have anything against the elves or the dwarves. I'm just trying to get people out of there.
And the
so
elves,
there's no collateral
both the
damage.
elves and the dwarves are kind of among the same way. They are pretty much allowing you to get civilians out. Nobody's stopping you or taking prisoners.
I'm just doing
Do I
it.
see
'cause
do I see any familiar faces amongst the elves?
Do me a favor, roll me a perception check.
What does the 16 get me?
Not really, no. There's a lot of people here, man. This is like a full-on war at this point. So time goes by, and you do your best that you can, at least in this district of town, to help the civilians get to the sewers. You would know, as Zorthos, that there are definitely places to escape, get out of here, be able to lead people through safely. You cleared the monster that was in the sewer. It's not there anymore. However, you do have your friends and your civilians that are down below that are able to, kind of direct people and give them at least some sort of shelter. Some time goes by. This takes a while, but you do indeed save a good amount of people from what could be just straight up collateral damage. Families, children, even some elves that were even hurt that were in this onslaught that wished no longer to fight. You can tell that everybody is more or less scared in this situation because people have started talking. At first, there was arguments happening down beneath the sewers. Some of the elves that gave up their arms, no wish to fight, and some of the dwarves doing the same, blaming each other. Not only is there panic, but there's also confusion. And it's kind of sitting in with the civilians that nobody knows the real reason of why this attack is even happening in the first place, as they continue to blame each other. You all sit in the sewers currently, kind of like in the encampment where you once were, where you met your friends initially, but it's pretty crowded, pretty cluttered. There's a lot of people down here taking shelter as the explosions and the onslaught continues to happen above on the streets of Haxos, with the two armies going at it. What would everybody like to do?
Zorthos.
Yeah.
Do you think you can talk to the dwarves?
I mean, fucking which one, dude? I gotta get to somebody who's in charge, and why would anybody listen to me anyway? Like, who the fuck am I? Nobody here knows me, man. I was fucking homeless. I used to live down here.
I take off my mask. Listen, I'm a fucking nobody too. Alright? Me and you are not really all that different. But it's better than doing nothing.
We're not supposed to split up.
I know.
If I need to go talk to somebody, that means we need to go talk to somebody. And let's go fucking do that then.
Yeah.
There's gotta be a way to
let's
get
try to
people's
find a
attention.
congregate. Okay, I agree with that. Let's try to find a congregated area of the dwarves and elves. We'll try to mediate between the
Or
two.
one at a time. They both got to have home bases where they're operating out of. If we can get them to agree to at least talk to each other and stop this fighting, you're right. We need to go.
Yeah, let's deal with the here and now. Let's try to get the elves and the dwarves that are here down in the sewers with us talking and try to get them to understand first.
They're fighting. They're not going to stop fighting to talk to us. We need to, with the civilians
We
out of the
have
way.
to try.
They
We have
can
to
kill
try.
each other. What that has nothing to do with us. We need to save the city, not these fucking few people.
Are the elf ships exposed?
What do you mean?
The elf ships?
Oh, the
They're
ships.
on their ships,
I
right?
thought you said shivs. Like,
I was like, what?
No. They have the flying ships, right?
oh no,
What are they on?
the elves did not come in through any kind of ships or anything. They just kind of appeared out of nowhere, almost as they probably landed on sea somewhere or mysteriously.
So they're down by the water?
You don't know. They just kind of appeared.
What can I? Oh,
You guys are
what can
currently
I?
in the
What can I
catacombs.
roll to figure that out?
Give me like an intelligence check.
18.
So, with an 18 intelligence check, you would know that they, being elves, were very quiet. They're stealthy. They probably appeared and landed somewhere on Haxos on the continent somewhere, and stealthily made their way through the forest and through the catacombs and through different, sorts of areas of the continent itself to Haxos itself, to the outside walls, and pretty much, plan an attack. They did not come, directly to the city on any kind of ship. They definitely got there by ship somewhere, probably on the shores, but they were smart in their tactics and didn't have, they made their location where they landed not, relevant.
Like to flag down the nearest elf that I could see, because we're not in
Yeah.
combat. We're not
You guys are
engaged with them.
y'all are on the sewers right now,
Just
just
say-
kind of chilling.
Where's the commander?
You grab one, and he goes, hey, listen, man, I don't know what's going on. We're just here. We're just following orders. Like, we're just trying to get back.
Where's the commander?
Probably up top, still fighting, commanding the troops to do. We don't know what's going on. This is why
On
we
the
give up our
top.
arms.
On the top where?
Probably heading towards the capital, like probably the kingdom, the keep, probably
I drop him and I go back to Zorthos. We should go back. We should get to the capital.
the keep. Sorry.
We should get to the keep.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. We need to talk to somebody in charge and try to figure out what's going on. I mean,
All right.
Yeah, it clicks with you
We-
pretty
we
much.
gotta do something.
The dwarves, everybody. You got to hear the conversations continue like throughout the this area, and what you overhear is the fact that the elves, the spire was attacked at Elvenglade, and now the elves are wanting to pretty much try to take the capital and in a sense of revenge, or even just take the city. So chances are they're probably going to the keep.
I start
So
making
what
my way to the
those?
keep.
yeah.
Real fast, can you cast thaumaturgy on me for what I'm about to say? I don't know if it's gonna help, but
Yeah. I'll do that if you can, DM. I'm not sure if you can thaumaturge other people, but
Yeah,
if you'll
fuck
let
it.
me.
I like it.
I present
Smack-
him an imaginary
smack him on
microphone.
the back and
I just put my fist in front of his hand to speak into.
Yeah.
Here, try this.
okay. Clasp his hand, put it in front of my face. It was like, denizens of Haxos and residents of Elvenglade, you were all tricked. This war is a facade. None of this stuff is relevant to your very lives. You've all been tricked by the Spectre. He is back, and this is exactly what he wants. The more you fight amongst
when you
yourself,
say that, it gets so silent you could hear a fucking pin drop. And you see all the elves and the dwarves, they all kind of look at each other, almost in fear and in terror, as the sudden realization kicks in. And they can tell between the rumors and the talking that, holy fuck, we've been played. Luna, you open your eyes and you awaken, and this is a very similar vision to what you had seen when you were a child. Same fashion, spectral figures, but you are more of a ghost now. And you see Vitalis stands next to you, and she looks almost the same as you. This is some sort of flashback of sorts, and you see that there is a very similar grove that you stand in right now that looked like the field of flowers that you were also once in, but very different. Not very different, slightly different. It's a little smaller. You kind of recognize it a little bit from your youth, but you never really went here. You were told to stay away from this area of the forest for some reason. It looks a little dreary, not as lively, a little dark, as you look amongst the ground and you see that in the mixture of lively flowers and grass and beings, there are indeed patches of dead flowers and dead grass and dead wildlife. And you see,
something happened here.
yes, something did happen here. This is my burial site, Luna. As you see, she approaches a willow tree in the center. As you follow, she sticks her hand on this tree and she kind of like brushes her hand down. And she looks at the dirt, kind of like beneath the bottom. And she's like, this is where I was buried when I was killed. You see, despite me being the way that I was, and hunted down like a witch, the druids of Sunglade, we still have our morals and values, and when I was killed, I was buried still, much like one of our elders would be, or one of our fallen would be, just in a different parts of the forest, because they didn't want me tarnishing any of the graves because of my abilities.
Well, that's not nice.
No, it's not. But that is not exactly why I brought you here. Not because of my history. You seem to know some of my history. No, we're here to learn some of your history.
Oh.
As you see, that's Vitalis steps to the side. And you see out of a tree line that leads to this area, your parents walking forward towards this tree, holding what looks to be some sort of baby in their hands. You see they continue to approach this tree. They look a little younger than when you saw them in your last vision when you were a teenager. They approach and you see this small baby, this child they carry with them, has blue features, blue ears, a blue face. Quite familiar. Vitalis looks at you. She looks at them. And she looks at you. She goes, any guesses on what's going on here?
I don't know. What? I mean, that's me.
Well, let us
That's my
continue.
mom.
Your mother and your father approach, and you see your mother hold you tight, shaking up and down, and you're not dead. The baby is not dead. Very lively still. However, as you get a closer look at the face of the baby, more pale, not as blue. Very skinny, very bony. And your father looks at your mother, gives her a hug, and he says, you know we have to try something. She goes, I know. But how do we know this is going to work? And he goes, we don't, but the clerics don't know what's wrong. The rest of our people don't know what's wrong. She is sick. She is dying. I am not going to lose our daughter, our only child, because of an illness that we are unable to fix. We are druids. We are powerful, and we cannot fix this? Somebody must know, and if there's one person that knows what this is and how to fix it, well, we know who it is. As you see, they approach forward. They lay you down in front of the tree. Your mother and father both get on their knees. And they begin to pray and speak out. Asking for help. Crying for anybody to listen, to hear. And your father at one point even says, Vitalis, if your spirit still lingers in this forest, please reveal yourself somehow. One of our own is dying of an illness, and I will do anything that is needed to make sure that she does not meet a fate that is undeserving for a child. And Vitalis looks at you. She goes, now, watch this. The tree where she is buried at begins to shake and rumble back and forth, and you see that within the tree on the bark, some sort of weird face begins to form out of it, just kind of like cracking out of it. And the voice speaks out and says, you have awoken me from this eternal hell that I am in to suffer for all of my afterlife. What is it that you want? And you see her father looks up and goes, Vitalis. She goes, yes. I don't know where I am. I don't know why I'm here. I just know that I was killed. I know this is where I'm buried at, and I am eternally suffering All because none of you wanted to accept my abilities, my power, and my capabilities to save life, to use the death of other creatures for our benefit. And you see your mother and father look at each other, and they shake their heads, and they say, despite our differences in our beliefs and our circles, you going on your own and creating your own circle around death and undying and sacrifice was not the way, and you know it wasn't. But that is not why we're here. We are here because I need you. We need you. As the wooden oaken face in the tree looks down and sees the sick baby, she goes, a child. Sick with an illness that's... Oh no. You cannot heal. Oh, if only someone was around that knew more about dying and death and decay to help fix this child. And your mother and father look at each other and they say, we know. Tell us what you want from us. We will do it if you can fix this. She looks down once more and looks up at your parents and says, Well, it does appear that I will be stuck here for most of eternity, but on the off chance, the very slim off chance that I am able to come back, then this may prove quite useful to me. You see, I can fix this. You were praying out to me. I was able to communicate in some way, shape, or form. You are in the grove of my death and my burial, which means my powers still linger in this area. I will fix your daughter. I will cure her. On one condition. And they look at each other. They look back at you and they go, anything. She goes, when I was young, I lost my husband to bandits and raiders and pirates. I never had one of my own. I never had a child of my own. But more importantly, I never had an apprentice of my own. My circle must carry forth. My bloodline, my powers, my abilities must continue on. Take the sap from my tree. Prick your daughter's finger and bond her with me, so that way, if one day I return, I will be forever connected, and I can find her and finally make her my apprentice and the daughter that I never had. And they look at each other, and they say, you're never coming back. How would you get back, or how would anybody bring you back? And then she looks in her oaken form and says, then what is there to worry about? This is catch-free according to you. I can't be brought back. That's fine, it's still your daughter. But on the off chance, I've just connected with her and I can find her. Make her the apprentice I need. And they look. You see your father pulls out a very small, pocket knife, walks up to you, pokes your finger, and rubs your hand against the oaken tree. And then you find yourself back in the grove with the sun that is currently moving for the 7-day cycle. And Vitalis looks at you and says, I never had an apprentice. I would like one now.
Well, okay. So just a few things to clear up. You're definitely not working with the Spectre, and you don't want to work with him anymore.
I do not want to work with the Spectre. I do not want to be part of his game. I want him gone. Nobody makes a pawn out of Vitalis Goldwillow.
Okay, and, if you if I help you, what's your end goal? Do you just want to exist within the world and live your life, or are you still looking to take over the world?
I
Are
want
you
to
still looking
exist.
for revenge?
Oh, I very much want many things, Luna, but the one thing I want the most is I am alive now. But one day I will pass naturally. And the one thing I want more than anything in this world is for my gifts and my practice to be passed along. I want you to take my gifts, whether I get my revenge or not. We take care of the specter together. Nobody stands in my way to teach you anything. And when I'm gone, you can rise as a new Queen of the Undying. You can pass along my gifts. You can save those from death who do not deserve it, much like I did with you as a child, even when I was dead. I have unlocked various capabilities and powers that only some druids could ever dream of, and I am offering that to you. Your parents knew what they offered, and I am here. Why do you think they sent you off on an adventure? Because they knew that I was back, and they thought that they could hide you from me by sending you off on your own journey. But I found you. And I will keep finding you. And she looks at the sun and says, if I had to take a guess, I would say the boyfriend and your other friends are going to try to bring you back. But they have 7 days. And if they cannot bring you back within that 7-day window, I can at any time before that. Something to think about, Luna. Call out to me when you're ready. As you sit in the middle of this grove, empty, cold, dark, with the sun above you, waiting for either Vitalis or your friends to pull you from whatever this is. And that's where we're on this week's episode of Secrets of Aal'Teron.
Gosh.
Yes. Oh, shit, where's my mouse at? Thanks, guys, for hanging out. This week's episode of Secrets of Aal'Teron. It was a quick one because we had a log one last week, but, shit's getting real. The plot is thickening, and things are getting pretty chaotic
it's
here
thick
in the
with
realm of
2
Aal'Teron.
Cs.
Thick with 2 C's. Thanks for watching, everybody. We're going to wrap it up real quickly because it's getting late over here. Make sure you follow, join the Discord, the YouTubes, and all that kind of stuff. Aaron, Grizz, go ahead.
I was muted.
There you go.
Hey everybody, I'm Grizz Squatch. You can find me over on TikTok by the same name. You can find me over here on Fridays. I just feel all kinds of awful.
Emotional damage.
Emotional
Thick Pastel.
damage. Hello, it's me, Thick Pastel, and I'm undead now. And I'm also here on Twitch, and I have my own schedule. You can check it out if you like.
Yee. Give me Mr. Craig.
Peace is no longer an option. Good night.
Burn everything.
Peace is no longer an option. Zorthos.
Sad fact of the day. The idea that graves needed to be 6 feet deep comes back from the plague in 1665, where the mayor of London decreed that's how far you had to be buried to not spread the plague.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Nothing to do with zombies, believe it or not. Or that's what Big Zombie wants you to think.
Big zombie. All right, everybody. We'll catch you later next week on Secrets of Aal'Teron. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.